Namaste. Today we are going to have a look at how the Rahu Ketu transit is going to be for the SIMHA Lagna for this 2025 year. And before diving in on the predictions, there is a thing that I would like to clarify, where we will be seeing this on the basis of Bhrigu Nandi Nadi, which means we'll be using the Lagna and not the Rashi. So if you do not know what your Lagna is, you can ask your parents or any elder members in the family, or you can take your own horoscope and you can just check where there is AS marked and that is your Lagna. And by chance, if you're not Simha Lagna, there is always the other Rashi predictions in my YouTube channel. You can just pop in and you can see on which Lagna you are. And without any further ado, we'll be focusing on the Simha Lagna predictions for this Rahu Ketu transit. So as far as the Rahu Ketu transit is concerned, the Ketu is heading towards Simha and Rahu is heading towards the Kumbha. So the Simha Lagna, for Simha Lagna, the Ketu will be going upon your Lagna, where there will be a lot of changes in your attitude, changes in the way you communicate, changes in the way you think yourself, and changes in the way you think about others, changes in the way on how you carry yourself, your personality, your conduct, your attitude, your communications. And it also works on the level where you change the dress, where you change the appearances on a lot of fortified friends. So basically in this period you will have a lot of changes regarding to yourself. If you are looking forward to improving your, let's say, your communication on any other things which I've mentioned before, this is a good period for you to improve. And this period you can do a lot of things which will be beneficial for you. And in this period, most importantly in this period, the more you change, the more growth you will have, and automatically the things will suggest that you start changing towards it. And now if you are going to refuse those kind of changes, it may cost you some kind of difficulties in the longer run. Next, as Rahu going in the 7th house, there can be a lot of unnecessary issues with your spouse. It can be either your wife's side or it can be from your husband's side. There can be a lot of unnecessary issues where the core issue can be something really unrelated, really not necessary thing, or you can say it is a very small thing, but due to a lot of miscommunication from on both sides, the small thing can be blown and made to a very big thing, where alas, if you think about and turn why this issue started, it can be lead to something which really didn't matter at any point of time. So a lot of misconceptions, a lot of misunderstandings and fights which are small like these can be triggered. So I request that you forgive and then you forget. You don't take these kind of issues really to your heart. Just say, okay, let's talk about this later. And after all these commotions has come down, then you can just peacefully try to resolve. Don't chase behind these kind of issues. And basically, whether you're working or you're undertaking a business or any kind of thing, there can be coordination issues, there can be communication issues with your team members or people working with you, people working for you, people working above you, and these kind of things where you're working with one another human being. There can be tend to a lot of miscommunications happening, and you will be only the odd man out in a group. If you are working in a group, you can be the only person who is like, no, he's a little different, unique guy, he's a freak, and kind of an odd man out situation. Can a lot of things like that happen to you in this Rahu Ketu transit also. So mainly in this Rahu Ketu transit, you need to focus on changing yourself. That is number one. And in this Rahu Ketu transit, you should be quiet with your spouse. That is number two. And the most important thing is, don't go in for small fights. There is tend to a lot of fights like that tend to happen. Just ignore it and forgive and forget. So this is the prediction for the Simha Lagna on the Rahu Ketu transit in this 2025. If you want to know more about these astrological things, or if you want to know how exactly this transit is going to affect you, because exactly we can say that all the Simha Lagna people don't have their life charted out in the same manner. Each and everyone has their own different set of things to do. They have their life in a unique manner, and this prediction works 100% for some, 50% for some, 30% for some, and certain aspects can work for some people and certain aspects cannot or may not work or can work at later point of time, and these kind of things can happen according to their personalized horoscope combinations. So if you want to know how your horoscope is and how the transit is going to affect you in this 2025, you can always contacted me in this number, which is my WhatsApp number, and I have also mentioned it in this description for your ease. So you can anytime you can contact me or can WhatsApp me, and we can have the predictions charted out for you. And if you want to follow more interesting astrological things which are coming, do subscribe to me, and see you in the next video.